Hi, ever wonder what it's like to work another profession or live in the underworld? Listen to unsuspecting riders give a 10 to 15 minute personal masterclass as I spontaneously interview them as they enter my taxi. I'm your host, Simon Rushton, and this is Taxi Chronicles. Morning. Yes, we're back with another episode, another rider. Today we have a lovely lady, and she's going to explain the world of FX, which is another term for like currency exchange in the corporate world. So nice to have you here today, Sally.
Hello.
So explain to us, how did you get into the industry and what motivates you?
It's a very good question because I'm quite new to the company, so I'm not really enough of an expert to be coaching other people on the matter. But I've worked in finance for a few years and didn't have a very nice boss before this. Wanted a change and came across this FX company that had a really cool culture and cared a lot about their staff and everything, so I thought it was a good thing to get into.
Okay, so explain what is FX for those who don't know.
It's foreign exchange, so our clients are people that work with other companies from all around the world, and they might need to secure exchange rates if they're paying another company in GBP, but they transact themselves in euros, for example. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So if you take a big retail company,
Yep.
and they obviously need to ship all around Europe, and their warehouse might be in, I don't know, Hungary.
Yeah.
And they need to secure exchange rates, to make sure that they can, I don't know, cover their warehouse costs, and they need to make sure they're securing that exchange rate to make sure that their warehouse costs are covered. It's basically a lot of companies or clients use it to minimize their exposure to market volatility sometimes.
Okay, so when you secure that rate, if things do go down, who takes the brunt?
Oh, this is a really technical question. It depends on the client. We have this thing called a margin call. So if the market rate changes to a more extreme level past a certain extent, we usually give the client a percentage, i.e. if it changes more than 6% or 10%, then we would call them on it. But if it's only 2% or 3%, it depends on the client.
I see what you mean. So it's all agreed prior, and the likelihood of changes are within the memorandum kind of thing, or
Yeah.
the contract. Yeah, that makes sense. And things like that. Do you just cater to major corporations, or do you do the smaller man in business as well?
We have a range of clients. So we have some big corporate clients. We have some investment funds and investment managers, and then we also have private clients.
And just what comes to my mind now is like, are you lot subject to insider trading as well? Because what I'm thinking is, you know what deals are going to be going down quite way down the line, so you could trade on the market. Or am I totally off the
I think you're thinking of stocks and shares.
Yeah.
So we don't deal with that, and I don't have anything I can tell you, unfortunately, about how to make a lot of money on one share. No, foreign exchange is different.
Okay. What qualifications for a young person who's just going to be doing their GCSEs? What qualifications would you say they should aim for going into the industry?
To be honest, I just got, not in an arrogant way at all, but I was always quite studious and academic, but I was never like super mathsy. I didn't study economics. I think just aim to get as many B's and passes as you can, and then the rest of it, for getting into the right company, it's about having the right attitude.
Okay.
But rather than being a complete whiz, if you know what I mean. They just want to know that you want to learn and you're there because you're motivated and you've got the right intentions, more than being a complete economics expert or FX expert.
Okay. What would you say that you've learned that you wish you knew when you started?
I don't know, because I think that you never regret learning something new, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So there's nothing that springs to mind, because I quite enjoy learning and having the learning experience. And there have been no nasty surprises so far anyway.
But there's nothing that you thought, if I had known this 6 months ago or such and such time ago, it would have been a lot more benefit. It's beneficial now, but it would have been a lot. I could have, it's the age-old saying: if I knew yesterday what I knew today, then life could have been much different for me.
No, okay. I'm very much like in a cliche way, no regrets, or just kind of living in the moment type of person.
Okay, that's good.
And only forward looking. So think about what knowledge you can gain rather than lose.
And the last question is, what impact do you want to have on the world?
That's a really hard question. Can I come back to you?
What's the last question?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like this week has been it's kind of shaken a lot of women in London for a lot of reasons with things that have gone on.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm in an industry where it is very male dominated. And that's not because there's a lack of equality or anything like that. I truly believe that that's not the case. I think it's a case of finance. You go into a finance place, it's always going to be more male dominated. You go into a fashion house, you're always going to have more women. That's just the way it is, and I don't think that's something that's going to change as the world becomes increasingly equal. But impact to have on the world, just encourage women to believe in themselves and that they can do anything they put their mind to. Because when I started in this job, I didn't have a clue about what I was going into, and I kind of thought it was beyond me.
Oh, okay.
But if you put your mind to something, you can learn anything.
But you went for it anyway.
Yeah, I like a challenge.
Okay, you didn't have a clue, but you like a challenge.
I don't know if this is still recording.
No, it is.
Is it?
Don't worry. You're like that. Yes,
that would be a shame.
No, don't worry. It is.
Okay.
It is. That's interesting. I like what you say about the fact that it's not about equality. The problem is just that you recognise that what the genders are generally.
Yeah, it's about exactly.
Yeah, because that's a professor I follow called Jordan Peterson. He points out from his research, he's a clinical psychiatrist, that women are more interested in people and men are more interested in things. So that explains a lot of why you may have certain industries
definitely
dominated by certain genders.
And you have to be so careful with how you word things these days, because everyone's become overly sensitive. And I do think it's good that the world has moved this way and everyone cares so much about making sure that no one's left behind. But at the same time, I'm not offended that I'm the only girl in my team, because I know that out of all of my girlfriends, no one else is really interested in FX. It's not that they all went for a job there and didn't get it because they're a woman.
Yeah.
You know?
That's true. Very true. Well, thanks a lot for that, Sally. It's been very informative.
Thanks.
And we wish you well.
Thank you.
We hope you liked that interview. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to get the latest daily episode. Ever considered investing in the continent with the fastest growing economy and population on Earth? The same continent that holds 30% of the world's known natural resources? Then listen to our sister podcast, Africa Investor Stories, where you will hear real investors with real stories from around the world share their experience of investing in Africa. We post Monday and Thursday at 10 a.m.